From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper. I know you guys are like, damn, you again? I know I just got done talking to y'all for 90 minutes. Now I'm back to talk to y'all some more. And as you guys can see, we got the TNF preview for tonight. Titans at the Packers, 4-6. Now, if you didn't watch the show earlier, you know I broke it down for you, but I'll break it down for you again because odds have changed. We're now at looks like 3.5 for this game. Also, looks like the money line has upped a little bit as well, too, the -175. Over-under should still at the same point, but I think over-under should be a very, very good situation moving forward. I think that's a situation that you're going to make your money on tonight, to be honest with you. I love the over-under in the spot, but when you look at the breakdown of the game, you have a Titans team that's won their last 6 out of 7 after starting the season 0-2. You have a Packers team that finally got back on the good foot with their win after they lost, 5 in a row. So they're back on the good foot as well, too. And the Titans feeling good about themselves coming in here, man. You know, they're coming fresh off of they've had a lot of days off as well, too. You know what I mean? So they're feeling pretty good about where they're at, but they haven't really played anybody in the last few weeks. Now they're actually playing a team that's going to challenge them a bit. But the Titans are always the biggest wild card when it comes to games like this, especially. They're 7-2 against the spread. That's something that's working out in their favor. They're 4-1 at home against the spread as well, too. So there's a lot of things that are just helping out the Titans a lot here. But I think with the way that this game sets up and the way that it's on Thursday night football and everything like that, I think that the Packers do wind up being the winner of this game. So I think that we're on to something here. It's going to be a much better game than it looks like on paper, in my opinion. But I really, truly feel like the Packers shouldn't be a 3-point favorite. This should be at a pick 'em, and it should be 115, 105, things like that. But they really do feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to have himself a night tonight. And so that's why they are putting this together. Odds makers are looking at this to where they couldn't let the Packers be a dog, which they really should have been, because when you look at the numbers of everything, the Titans are really the favorite here because they have played much better football over the last 9 weeks or so, 10 weeks or so since the NFL started. So pretty much there it is with that. And I don't need to get too far into that because we already talked about it earlier, but I do have some good tickets for you in a moment when we do get to talking tickets. So you guys just stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back to that. But let's jump into our next topic at hand. I know I'm just nitpicking a little bit, but I'm going to nitpick a little bit. Warriors drop to 6-9 after losing 130-19 last night to the Sun. What is the reason for the slow start? Well, there's a lot of reasons for the slow start. This is reason number one: Draymond Green, who's over here playing like a man who just literally is trying to play for his job, trying to play for his contract, and everything like that. Then you had Steph Curry, who kind of overdid it yesterday. He was trying so bad, so he wanted to win so badly. He drops 30 points in the first half. Then he drops 20 to get 50, but they still lose by 11. So to me, that's just a wasted night when you score 50 and your team still loses by 11. So he scored literally half of their points, you know what I mean, last night. They just did not look good the whole night at all. Now, they did have 4 guys in double digits last night: Wiggins, Thompson, and Looney. And then Draymond also got 9 points last night, 8 assists as well, 2 rebounds. So he was decent, but their bench didn't do much of anything last night. They got 2 points from Jordan Poole last night, and it wasn't that he was in foul trouble or anything like that. The guy was 0 for 5 from with his field goals last night, and wound up just hitting 2 free throws. So he was not effective last night. He did have 8 assists, but he wasn't effective at all. He only played 26 minutes as well, too. Now, Kevin Looney was good. They should have got some more looks for him last night, but they didn't. So, this team is really – like, I know it doesn't matter where they start. It's all about where they finish. But I don't like the way that the Warriors are going about their business this season. They don't remind me of a team that just came off of winning a championship in a dominant fashion. They remind me of a team that's really trying to get rid of somebody at this point in time. I think that right now they need a shakeup on the roster, to be honest with you. They keep talking about the Lakers need to get rid of Westbrook and the Nets need to get rid of Kyrie, blah, 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 blah. But this is the team that's the world champion. They should have all eyes on them because when you're the world champion, you're the most important team in the NBA, right? I thought they were the dynasty. They're the Warriors. I would think that they would have minute by minute updates and everything on why the Warriors are just looking really average and really mediocre at this point. They're losing the bad teams at the same time who have losing records. And, they're not going through the same grinder as the Lakers and the Nets. Lakers and the Nets are losing to really good teams. The Warriors, on the other hand, are barely getting out of games with teams that are going to be drafted in the top 5 for the next 10 years. So I think that they're just kind of taking their sweet time, but I don't know if you can take your sweet time in the Western Conference like this. And especially with the Suns already just moving further ahead of them right now as well, too. The Suns had a little bit of a struggle as well, too, but, they've gotten it together. But I truly do think the West is a wide open conference this year as well. And you just can't trust the Warriors. I think I might be a little bitter because the Warriors are some money burners. And it's been like that since they had the dynasty. There's a lot of nights where I'll deal with the Warriors. I think I got a big spread and they wind up not covering at all, win the game by 3 or 4 points. And, that's frustrating. You know what I mean? So, this team just has really, really, really needs to check their ego at the door. They good, but I think the rest of the league isn't scared of them at the same time, too. And I think that they need to get over the fact that, they got 4 championships in 6 years. And, it's what have you done for me lately type league. So if you want us to praise what you've done in the past, then, that's great, but we don't need to because we already praised you when you won. So right now it's a new season. The Warriors need to wake up and understand that if this thing gets worse, they ain't going to no playoff. You know what I mean? Because I really, truly, I'm saying this because injuries are about to start occurring. And if they lose Curry for any significant time, it's a wrap on the season, in my opinion, because they're that disorganized. But I truly do think that they have to separate these two. I don't think that the locker room is fully the same after what happened with Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. I talked to Jeff about this earlier, and he even knows that. And I said that Jordan Poole was better than a lot of us because at the end of the day, I would have demanded a trade. It's not being scary or running off or anything. I don't want to play with a guy like this. You a bit too passionate about yourself. You know what I mean? You know what time it is. You know that I'm a scorer on this team. You know what I do out here. And I don't have to bow down to you at all. You know what I mean? Because you ain't nothing but a mouth on this team. Your talented days and you being somebody of being a factor for this team was a long time ago. Yeah, I know he showed some good leadership in games and he helped them get through the finals and things like that. But he was just more of a mouth than anything. It wasn't him taking anybody out of their game or anything like that. It just was that Steph went crazy and the Celtics got nervous. It's that simple. So they got to improve. They got to get better. I expect them to get better, but I just don't think that they should be a team that's getting let off the hook so easily. That's just my 2 cents on that. So we move on and let's jump into our next topic, and that's going to be us getting into some college football. College football is college football tonight. Got ourselves a really good game between SMU 6-4, and you got Tulane coming into this game 8-2. So you got 2 teams here that are looking to get themselves in the right position for the AAC. And Tulane is having themselves a great season. They haven't had a season like this since 1998 when they had my man and guest on the show plenty of times, Sean King. Now they had won 5 in a row before losing to UCF last week by a touchdown. And SMU is another game that puts them in a position. Now they are second place in the conference, 5-1, and this is a critical game because SMU is 4-2. And if SMU is to get this game, then they would own the tiebreaker. But UCF would jump into that, would secure that second place spot as well. Even though they both are 8-2 on the season, Tulane right now is the team that would be there. But, I truly do feel like Tulane being ranked 21 is something that's a big deal for them. But I think, though, at the end of the day, they really don't know how to hold on to that. I think that the pressure is on, and when the pressure is on, things get a little different with teams. And SMU has proven to be a team I can trust over the last few years, and I can definitely trust them going into this one after they just won 3 in a row. And literally, they scored 45, 77, and 41. So this offense is going absolutely bonkers right now. So I like the way that they've looked over these last 5 games because they've won 4 out of 5 of them after losing 3 in a row. But they lost 3 in a row to really good teams. Maryland is a decent team. TCU still undefeated, only lost to them by 8. They got smoked by UCF, who's one of the better teams in the conference. And then they lost a heartbreaker to Cincinnati. But then they come back around, beat Tulsa, beat the rival Houston, and then got a good win against South Florida. 2 of those games was on the road. So they played better ball on the road. So this pretty much means that it's going to be something that is going to be something that's going to be very good for SMU moving forward. So I really do like the way that this game sets up for both these teams in a sense. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But I do really feel like we have ourselves a very good game that's going to happen here with these 2 squads. So pretty much that's where I'm going with this one. I feel like you can really pick whomever in this spot, but I truly do feel like SMU is going to get a monster upset tonight. So I do like the way that this game sets up. And so pretty much that's what I'm doing tonight with this one, with the Thursday bets for CFB Thursday bets for college football. I do like SMU in this game tonight. I have more for you when we do get to talking tickets. So you guys just stay tuned for that, and we'll go from there. So so pretty much we're going to go ahead and jump into a quick commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to talk about the Legends Classic game that I have for you guys today, which is going to be Michigan versus ASU. And then we're going to talk about the NBA Thursday night, even though we only got 3 games, all starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time, Western Pacific time. 7 o'clock starts and 7:30 starts. So folks on the East Coast, you're going to have a late night tonight if you're watching the NBA. So just stay tuned. I'll be right back to you. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase.
Come on. Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. So, pretty much, let's go ahead and jump into our next topic in hand, and that's going to be our game of the day in college basketball. This should be a fun one as well, too. When you have Michigan and Arizona State going at it, so Michigan and Arizona State, two very fun teams to watch. And pretty much, I don't have the graphic for it, and I don't feel like looking. I don't feel like going through making you guys wait any longer. But I can go ahead and talk about the game. You got a team in Michigan who's ranked number 20. Then you have ASU coming in here and unranked plus 7.5, over under of 141. Now they did get a good win last night in Barclays versus the VCU. VCU was a favorite in that game, and I made sure to have Arizona State last night as well too. That was a client exclusive play, so it winds up being a really good. It wound up being a really good spot for us last night. So I like the way that this team is looking going into this game, and Michigan is always vulnerable for a good upset as well too. Now, when you look at the spread, you do have the spread going a little crazy right now. You have 7.5 on the spread, but I know that people will probably go ahead and get on Arizona State late. Now, Arizona State did have a bad loss, but it was to Texas Southern, and it was only by 1 point, and they had to travel there as well, too. So, they come back around. They got a good one against TCU last night. Nunn had himself a game last night. Deloach was rebounding well, but Nunn had 13 points, 5 assists. That was what put these guys that kept these guys, afloat, because VCU was a really, really good team. I'm looking at their stats, but Collins and Horn had themselves a good game last night, and also pretty much Collins was the man last night. He led in assists, steals, and points last night. So that was pretty good. And they did not need the three-pointer to help them out last night. And they didn't shoot the ball that well from the free throw line. What they did was they just made buckets, and they out-rebounded them last night. And they were able to out-rebound them on the offensive end as well, too. And they forced 16 turnovers. So this team won it the old-fashioned way in a sense. They really got gutty last night, and you like that. And I think Michigan has to be prepared for that type of situation tonight. They're on a neutral court as well, too. So I do feel like this will wind up being a really good game tonight. So we're going to see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But I truly do like ASU tonight with the plus 7.5 here. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. And we'll make sure that we're into a very, very good spot tonight for you guys as well, too, if you want to bet on this game. All right. So there it is. All right, so NBA Thursday night, always fun. But NBA Thursday night, they're not really putting out a lot of teams because they don't want to compete against the NFL. But I say this, it's on a stream, dog. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't have Prime, and everybody's not signing up for Prime as well, too. And I feel like we're all kind of getting ripped off a little bit when it comes to this because the games don't look good. You know what I mean? But all in all, we still got to watch football. But let's get into the NBA games that we do have for tonight. We have the Nets, who have the same record as the Warriors at 6-9. But Kyrie's on the way back. And then you have the Blazers coming in here 10-4. Blazers kind of settled down a little bit. They have been one of the surprise teams. Now they've done well though. They've won their last. They've done well this month. They're 5-3, and they've won their last 4 out of 5 as well too. Every game seems to be kind of close for them as well, but they're still playing really good basketball at this point. But I truly do think that tonight that they're going to be on notice tonight because Brooklyn was put on blast today all day by the Talking Heads. Now Brooklyn is now 4-4 for the month of November as well, much better than they were in October because they were only 2-6. They were only 2-5 in October. So they've improved. They're playing much better basketball at this point. And also, announcement just came in. Browns, Bills, even though Jeff said it on our show, but we had to have it confirmed. Browns, Bills is moving to Detroit for Sunday. So it's going to be an indoor game. in Detroit. And I think this game kind of favors the Browns a little bit because they'll have more fans there because there's a lot of fans that live in Detroit and Cleveland are only 2 hours away from each other, but Buffalo's not too far from them either. So, it works out for both squads, but I know Bills Mafia, if they lose that game, they're going to blame having to play it on a neutral field. But it's funny, they got to play in Detroit twice. But let's stick to the script. This is going to be a good game. All in all, you have the Nets, who have not been that good on the road this year, but they've won 3 games this month on the road. So, and they've only won 4. So the road's been all right for them. You know what I mean? And this will end a 4-game road trip before they begin another road trip that's going to be another 3 games. But they want to go ahead and get a good win tonight before they get back to Brooklyn Sunday. And then next week, they got to play against Philly, Toronto, and Indiana all on the road. And then here comes Portland again next Sunday. So they are looking to somewhat be even or start winning more games. And I think Kyrie is very, very much on the way as well, too. And it looks like that the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight is about to be a go. They got things worked out. They've already had the paperwork worked out, but it looks like that it is a go for 2023. Said sometime in 2023. It won't be at the beginning, but it will be at some point in 2023. All right, so there it is. There it is. We move on. We got a good one here, though, tonight, and I feel like this one is more of a scoreboard watch than anything. Hopefully, we have Lillard playing tonight, and we will have a good one between him and Durant, who always go at each other's throats. So it should be fun. But Kyrie coming back is huge for the Nets because you have to understand that they're getting almost 60 points a game when they're on the court together. Once they get back into the flow and everybody is now confident, the Nets will be a far better team than they've been the first, I would say, 6 weeks of the season. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But we got the Spurs and the Kings. I remember when this used to mean something about 15 years ago, but it hasn't meant anything in a long time. But still, you have yourself a real good game between 2 teams that are on the come up. You have the Spurs, who have struggled. They're 6-9. And then you have the Kings, who are probably the best thing going, one of the hotter teams in the NBA, because you have to understand this team started the season 0-4. They've won 7 out of their last 9. So they have got it. They are in a better position than they were to start the year. But you know what? At the end of the day, this can catch up with them. But they got people excited. They've won 4 in a row as well. They dropped 153 points on the Nets. Then got a good win over the Warriors as well. Were able to beat the Lakers on the road. And then they were able to beat the Cavs, who came in to that game red hot. And just barely lost to the Golden State Warriors and barely lost to the Miami Heat, who had to beat them off of a buzzer beater. So, yeah, it's been some good basketball getting played by the Kings, who haven't been this good in a while. And I feel like they are starting to come out of their shell a little bit, but them being a 7.5-point favorite is a bit too much for me tonight. But I know why odds makers are doing this. This team dropped 153 points and won by 32 the other night. But I think, though, that the Spurs are going to be ready for all of that. And I think what happens here is that we're going to have ourselves a very, very intriguing moment and a very intriguing game. I think that the Spurs, even though they are a little shorthanded tonight, they know that they can get with the Kings. And the Kings might be feeling themselves a bit too much. What I'm doing here is I'm going to shock the system a little bit tonight. I like the Spurs with the plus 250. I love them with the plus 250, to be honest with you, for the NBA dog bet of the day. So there it is. There it is. And we will move forward to our next spot, and that's going to be the late game, and that's going to be the Clippers and the Clippers and the Pistons. Clippers coming into this game right now. Clippers are 8-7, and the Pistons 3-12. Pistons, man, opening night, the Pistons look really good. They scored a lot of points. Duren was having himself a game as well, too. He had an awesome game opening night. And then after that, I just haven't really seen anything that impresses me about Detroit. Detroit is pretty much now 2-12 since that point. So they haven't played good basketball like at all. You know what I mean? And they've actually lost 5 out of 6 this month, only getting a win over Oklahoma City, beating them by 9. But these games haven't even been close, but they did only lose by 4 at home on Monday to Toronto. And they've had a few days off. And so they get the back-to-back with the Clippers and the Lakers. So as they start this 6-game road trip, you say to yourself, don't they want to start on a good foot? And you see a 9.5 point spread to the Clippers tonight in an over under of 216.5. So they're looking to say that this is going to be a low scoring game and that the Clippers should roll in this game. Can the Clippers be trusted, though? The Clippers are one of the worst teams when it comes to the spread, especially when it's a big number like this. So you look at the Clippers right now, they're playing much better basketball. They're 5-3 right now after losing 4 in a row in October. They are now set to bring back in Kawhi as well, too, because Kawhi smartly has missed enough games to where he was able to fully recover from that knee injury. But Detroit could be a good spot for him to come back tonight, but I think that they're aiming a lot towards San Antonio Saturday night for his comeback. Because if it's not San Antonio, then it'd definitely be Utah, because these are 2 games I know he's thirsting to get into as well. But the Clippers are in a good position right now. They got 5 road games left over for 5 home games left over for the month as well, too. And they've been playing much better basketball at home than they did the first few months. Even though they're only 2-2, the way their schedule lines up at home, they got a favorable schedule that leans towards them to get some good wins. Now, on the road, they do have to go against Golden State, Portland, and Utah here in the last few weeks of November. But I truly do think that this game winds up being a game that the Clippers actually have an easy time with, to be honest with you, man. I think the Clippers should be on point tonight. And with knowing Kawhi is going to come back, they'll have that extra energy that you need to go ahead and win a game like this one, because you got to get extra energy sometimes in spots like this, because you're going against a team that's not that good. They're kind of tanking to get to the next top player. And you just really want to say to yourself that, you don't want to overshoot this one, but 9.5 points is a good number for you to chase tonight, in my opinion, because the Clippers should win this game by 10 or better. So try to get at the 9.5, because it is going to go way up. So be ready for that portion as well, too. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when I get back, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into my favorite subject, your favorite subject, Talkin Tickets. So you guys just stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the PrimeTime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, here we are. it's that time. Time to talk them tickets. So, what are we doing? What are we doing first? All right, let's jump into who we have for our Bet Us pick of the day. And it's the PT best bet of the day. And it's going to be in our game that I talked about just a moment ago. And that's going to be in the game that's between Michigan and Arizona State. And I am going to go ahead and take the plus 7.5 on ASU today to cover. So hopefully we get this one home because I've been struggling a bit. So we got to get this one home because I've been struggling a bit with these bets of the day, and I want to make sure you guys are cashing and know that I know what I'm talking about. So pretty much there it is. Bet Us PT, CBB best bet of the day. But honestly, if you were following the NFL, if you were following the college plays last night, then you saw that we swept out in the Eastern Michigan Kent game last night. We were able to get that one home. We first quarter we had EMU cover, then we had Kent State cover the first half, and then we wound up getting the under 60. And then last night in the Western Michigan game, we delivered the plus 305. I told y'all I was taking the money line in that spot. They delivered and took care of their business last night. So, and then Miami of Ohio won last night as well, too. And they got 2 out of 3 of those bets. We just didn't get the first quarter. And then with the Western Michigan game, we didn't get the over in the first quarter. So we did well last night. So pretty much if you're tuning in and watching the show, you're winning money because we've had a big week this week, to be honest with you. So pretty much this will be our next group right here for Talkin Tickets. And pretty much I do love the way that this one sets up for us. This one is going to be the 101-1. So this right here, you can put a little scratch on this one. You'll be all right. You put $2 on it. It's a $200 hit. You know what I mean? $10 get you a rack. All right. So don't be all cheap about it. Put 10 or 20 on it, man. And see, this is a hittable ticket, man. We got plus 180 on Charlotte tonight with the money line. We got plus 16 on Bryant tonight. Then we got VCU in the other Legends Classic game, and we have them with the 3.5 going against Pitt tonight. And then we have Michigan. We have South Carolina State with the plus 41 tonight. And then also we have San Antonio with the plus 175. And then we end up with Washington at home tonight with the -8. So that's 101-1. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. And as I said before, $20 gets you 2,000. $1 gets you 100. So, small risk, big reward. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. All right, we move forward, and here we go with the CFB Thursday bets. CFB Thursday bets are going to look a little like this. We got the money line with plus 145 on SMU. I told you that's where I wanted to go with that one. Then we have the plus 1.5 first half with SMU as well, too. And then we have the under 14 with the first quarter today. So I like where we're going to. So pretty much there it is. Single what you like, and we move forward from there. Now we have the Thursday pick 3, 12-1 over 222.5 to the Nets and Blazers. Then we have the Spurs plus 250, and then we have the Clippers minus 9.5. This is a 12-1 ticket for a 3-teamer. So this is a big time ticket right here. So you get a 3-teamer at 12-1. That's some good odds for a very low situation. You only need 3 teams to do the cover. It's not like where I see guys doing 25 team parlays and everything. I don't know how any book is letting you do a 25 team parlay, but they are. So pretty much it is what it is, 12-1 right now. And I like it. I like it a lot. So let's go ahead and move forward and finish up with our TNF bets tonight. I'm going to go ahead and be on the favorite side tonight with the minus 175. Then I do like the over 20 in the first half. I expect some scoring going on in this game. That over 41 is juicy right now for me as an over. So I do like the way that it's looking because Rodgers and company did score some points last week. And I know that a lot of people say that, the defense is playing really well. Titans defense is playing really well. But sometimes when you have 2 really good defenses go at it, they get lit up. and it's a short week, so I do like the way that this sets up. Then we have the first quarter. I do favor that to the Titans because I feel like it's going to be a tie game in the first quarter. I'm not saying the Titans will get ahead. I'm just saying it's going to be a tie game in the first quarter. So I like the plus. So I like the half a point. Let's see how that goes. And then we have the Packers over 22.5 team total. And I like where we're going to, the things that life is showing you. So let's go ahead and see how this one goes. And it should be a good night tonight, man. I like last night was a good night because we tore it up in college football Tuesday and Wednesday night. And then we tore it up in the NFL Monday night. So we looking real good on the gridiron. So it is what it is. And you know, hoops, it's still early in the season. We still just over here working out the cobwebs and everything. I will have those awesome CBB Guru big time plays for you guys as we move along. Also, looking to put up a jackpot pick 12 this weekend in college football and basketball. So be ready for that one as well too. Tomorrow we go through all the CBB plays for this weekend conference bets list. I will go ahead and bless you guys with that. And then also we will get into the top 5 matchups for top 25 teams tomorrow as well. And then we also will get into a look ahead for the weekend and talk about what's going on Friday night. And as usual, we got Talkin Tickets. So you guys are the absolute best. I thank you guys so much. This is double duty. I know that I just got done talking to you guys on NFL Bet Exchange. In a few hours, I'll be doing the Mike Abadir show as well, too. We'll be talking World Cup and all that stuff. That's kind of out of my element, but I do have a little bit of an idea about the football. So we'll see how that one shapes up and everything. So you guys make sure to tune into that at Voice America and everything like that. So with that, that's going to be today's show. I'll be back to you guys tomorrow at noon sharp. So you guys be ready for that. And all in all, you guys are the absolute best. As I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I am
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production